This isn't just empathy, though. It's a fundamental cognitive skill, vital for strategic thinking, whether you're like navigating a meeting or just understanding complex social stuff in daily life. And neurologically, this consistent engagement builds and strengthens intricate neural pathways. It's like building more robust, faster highways in your brain for processing complex info and abstract ideas.
That's a powerful insight. So reading trains us to navigate the real world, not just the one on the page. Interesting. So if reading is building these complex highways, what about a practice that helps us maybe drive on them with more clarity? Mindful meditation. We hear a lot about it reducing stress, sure, but how does it directly impact cognitive function and, focus?
Well, it directly impacts your brain's operating system, so to speak. When you practice mindful meditation, you're actively training your attention. Research shows it helps shift your brain's activity towards alpha and theta waves,
Okay.
which are associated with states of like relaxed focus and deep processing rather than the frantic beta waves of daily stress.
Right, the stress waves.
Exactly. And this shift reduces the impact of stress hormones like cortisol on your brain. Cortisol, when there's too much, can actually shrink areas vital for memory and decision-making, like the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So by mitigating that, meditation essentially creates a calmer, clearer mental environment. It allows your brain to allocate resources more efficiently towards concentration, problem solving, emotional regulation, and even just, 5 to 10 minutes a day can begin to retrain your brain's attentional circuits.
That makes perfect sense. Clearing out the mental clutter helps you think more effectively. Okay, now let's pivot to something that might not immediately scream brain booster, but is absolutely critical: regular exercise. We know it's good for physical health, obviously, but what's happening up in our brains when we move our bodies?
This is where we talk about direct brain food.
Yeah.
Seriously. Exercise isn't just about blood flow, though that's part of it. It actively promotes neurogenesis.
Neurogenesis, the growth of new brain cells.
Exactly. Particularly in the hippocampus, which is like your brain's learning and memory hub. Think of exercise as stimulating the release of a compound called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor.
BDNF? Okay.
I sometimes call it miracle grow for your brain cells. It's a bit simplistic, but yeah.
I like that.
BDNF supports the survival of existing neurons and encourages the growth of new ones and new connections between them. So consistent physical activity, whether it's jogging, dancing, even just brisk walking for, say, 150 minutes a week. It isn't just preventing decline, it's actively building a more robust, resilient brain, one capable of better memory formation, faster information processing, literally laying down new learning infrastructure.
So exercise builds the infrastructure, but what about the actual fuel needed to run it all? That brings us straight to how healthy eating literally powers those new connections and cognitive processes. Beyond just eating well, what specific nutrients are most critical for optimal brain function and why?
Right, it's all about providing the right raw materials and protection. So consider antioxidants, abundant in foods like blueberries. These compounds combat oxidative stress.
Oxidative stress, that's like rusting for brain cells.
Sort of, yeah. It protects them from damage. Then there are omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish like salmon. These aren't just good fats. They are fundamental building blocks for neuronal membranes, literally making up the structure of your brain cells.
Wow.
And supporting efficient communication between them. Very important. And beyond specific nutrients, a balanced diet, rich in diverse whole foods, supports a healthy gut microbiome.
The gut-brain connection.
Exactly. Which is increasingly recognized for its powerful influence on brain health via the gut-brain axis. It impacts everything from mood to cognitive clarity. It's about nourishing the whole system, really.
It's fascinating how interconnected it all is, from our gut to our gray matter.
Speaking of interconnectedness and growth, let's talk about lifelong learning. Many of us think learning kind of stops after formal education, but our sources really emphasize it's never too late. So what's happening in the brain when we continuously engage in new learning, whether it's like online courses or just picking up a new hobby?
What's crucial here is neuroplasticity. Your brain's incredible ability to rewire itself. Neuroplasticity, right?
Think of your brain like a dynamic highway system. You can build new roads, widen lanes, even reroute traffic based on how you use it.
Yeah.
Every time you learn a new skill, a new language, or even just engage with complex new information, you're actively forcing your brain to lay down these new neural connections and strengthen existing ones.
So it's like a workout.
Precisely.
Right.
This continuous workout for your brain keeps that highway system agile and efficient, even as we age. It builds what we call cognitive reserve.
Cognitive reserve, okay.
It basically means your brain has more pathways to rely on, making it more resilient to the challenges of, well, an ever-changing world. And it can even delay the onset of cognitive decline.
That dynamic highway system analogy is perfect, really helps visualize it. So if individual learning keeps our brain agile, what about human connection? How do our social connections contribute to our cognitive health, our intelligence?
This is often overlooked, I think, but it's profoundly impactful. Social interactions are a form of complex cognitive cross-training.
Cognitive cross-training, I like that.
Yeah. When you engage with diverse people, you're constantly processing nonverbal cues, interpreting intentions, formulating responses, adapting your communication style.
Right, it's a lot happening at once.
It requires rapid switching between different cognitive tasks, and more importantly, exposure to different viewpoints and perspectives, like in a book club or a hobby group, forces your brain to grapple with cognitive diversity.
Makes sense.
You're challenged to integrate conflicting ideas, question your own assumptions, formulate nuanced arguments. This isn't just, present social time. It actively enhances your critical thinking, your problem-solving skills,
Right.
even creativity. It keeps your mental gears well-oiled and prevents cognitive stagnation, which can definitely happen in isolation.
That's a great way to put it, cognitive cross-training. Avoid stagnation. Okay, now here's a habit that might seem counterintuitive as a smart habit. Limiting screen time. We're all so connected, right? But what's the actual cognitive cost of excessive screen usage, especially things like social media? And what happens when we, cut back?
Well, the primary cost is really on your attention networks. Constant notifications, the rapid-fire, novelty-driven content on social media. It trains your brain for quick shifts in focus, not sustained concentration. It rewards superficial engagement over deep thought. And this can literally rewire your brain to have shorter attention spans.
Okay, that's worrying.
Yeah, it makes it harder to engage in more demanding cognitive tasks, like reading a challenging book or solving a complex problem. When you reduce screen time and engage in offline activities, puzzles, board games, reading, you're forcing your brain to use different circuits. Those associated with sustained attention, planning, strategic thinking, creative problem solving.
Right.
You're shifting from passive information consumption to active mental engagement, which strengthens those crucial, deeper cognitive functions.
That really highlights the difference, yeah. Passive consumption versus active engagement.
Okay, finally, let's delve into journaling.
Okay.
It might seem like a simple act, just writing down thoughts, but how can it truly enhance cognitive clarity and mental well-being? Journaling is essentially, it's like metacognition on paper, thinking about your thinking.
Metacognition on paper, okay.
By externalizing your thoughts, you bring order to what can be chaotic internal narratives. This act of writing helps you identify patterns in your thinking, clarify complex emotions, and understand your decision-making processes more deeply. This structured reflection directly supports improved emotional intelligence. As you become more attuned to your own inner landscape and how it influences your actions, it can also enhance memory by sort of solidifying experiences. And it helps cultivate a more positive mindset by encouraging gratitude or reflection on achievements. You're not just writing random stuff down, you're building a clearer, more organized mental map of yourself and your experiences.
So, to kind of wrap up this deep dive then, we've unpacked how truly enhancing your intelligence and mental resilience doesn't always demand, those intense study sessions or expensive courses. Instead, it comes down to a commitment to these surprisingly powerful habits. Simple but powerful. We covered how daily reading trains your theory of mind, how mindful meditation clarifies your cognitive channels, how regular exercise literally grows your brain cells, and how healthy eating fuels them. We also explored how lifelong learning builds brain plasticity, how social connections provide that cognitive cross-training, how limited screen time deepens your focus, and how journaling offers profound self-clarity. The core takeaway from our source material seems to be that these aren't just isolated tips, right? They're interconnected practices that, when woven into your daily life, create lasting synergistic benefits. The key is probably to start small. Gradually build these habits into your routine. Every little bit truly compounds over time.
Absolutely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's really not just about doing one of these things in isolation. It's about understanding how they weave together, how they create this powerful tapestry of cognitive growth and resilience. Each habit reinforces the others, contributing to a holistic improvement in mental sharpness and overall well-being. Think of it less as a checklist of tasks, maybe, and more as cultivating a lifestyle that actively nurtures your brain. So, considering all we've discussed, perhaps the question for you listening is, what new habit will you choose to weave into your daily life first to start building that stronger, more adaptable mind?